You're listening to the official podcast of the best PlayStation website on the internet. This is Project Push.
Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Project Push, which is the official podcast of the best PlayStation website on the internet, Push Square. My name is Ben Potter. I am the video editor for PushSquare.com, and I'm joined by my partner in crime, Ben Tarrant, who is a staff writer for PushSquare.com. Hello, Ben.
Hello there.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, not bad, man.
You excited?
Yeah, this is going to be great.
Let's do it. I mean, there's some confusion already because we're both called Ben.
Yes.
So if we just refer to each other by our last names,
It would be easier,
Mr. Tarrant,
Mr. Potter.
then it would be so much easier.
This has gone down a Harry Potter route already.
It doesn't have to.
Did not take
we
long.
can still pull it out of that mire.
I'm going to have to talk to you like Snape.
Stop it.
Mr. Potter.
Our latest celebrity. He's dead. That's so sad. Alan Rickman's dead. Anyway, this is the first episode. This has been a long time coming. This is more of a pilot. I don't know if this is ever going to see the light of day.
Probably won't if I just swore.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to go back and bleep that.
I'm sorry.
God damn it.
Good start.
This is purely a proof of concept for the powers that be, Mr. Sammy Parker,
Mr. Robert Ramsey.
maybe probably Anthony Dickens, all very important people in the Push Square circle. If they give this the go-ahead, then we might push this out there for the listeners, for the readers of the site, to see what they think and give us some general feedback. But we've got a few sections planned out.
Yeah, we've got some good things coming up
already. So we're going to start by discussing the latest news points.
You ever wonder, like, different choices, how we might have ended up?
No. I like the hand we've been dealt.
What do you think of the cards we've been dealt? I don't like them. I don't like this hand of cards.
So Uncharted.
So it goes, right? Uncharted 4. Did you watch that trailer?
I did actually. I'm gonna come out and say this really early. I'm not a huge fan of the Uncharted series.
Uncharted. And why don't you like the Uncharted series, Tarrant?
It's where many games will take me to somewhere I can't necessarily ever go. Mm-hmm. I feel Indiana Jones has this base well and truly covered.
No, but I'm asking for the real reason you're not excited about Uncharted 4. How many
Damn.
How many of the Uncharted games have you played?
Well, none.
Boo, you suck. See, like, even the audience, that was rubbish. I can't believe you haven't played them.
No, do you know, neither can I.
I've got the Uncharted collection right here.
Yes, you
and I
do.
could give it to you.
You could.
To go and play, and I would give it to you if I hadn't already given you Dragon Age,
Yes.
which I don't think you've started yet.
No,
That's a long game.
Yeah, I've been playing Journey, which I hadn't played up until last
It's like
week.
2 hours long. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Shrugs. Great. Brilliant. Did you see the trailer, though?
I did watch the trailer.
That was a hot trailer.
It was good.
All the
It was
characters
good.
in it.
Yes. I assume. I don't know them.
Well,
The main guy, Darren, was
Norman.
in it. Norman Darren.
Norman Dark. Brilliant. I can't believe you're here. Anyone else who's played Uncharted could be sitting in that seat.
Most of the world has played Uncharted, and then there's me.
You're unbelievable, you are.
I am. I'm a shameful human being, and I'm sorry.
But the big news is that there may have been some Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag concept art.
It wasn't even in May. They've actually come out and said, like, oh, our bad. We didn't mean to. Sorry for the artists. And they've actually now re-released the trailer.
The trailer without that in.
Without that
It was
in.
just a piece of art hanging on the wall.
Yeah, it was the coastal scene, I believe.
It was, and
yeah.
it is a spitting image. One of the senior Assassin's Creed producer?
Yeah, he
said,
called it out.
I recognise that.
Yeah. Well, you would, wouldn't you? If you're
Talk
working
about
with
piracy.
it. You're going to keep doing these, aren't you?
What? Terrible jokes?
Yep.
That's what I'm all about.
Brilliant.
I'm 90% terrible joke.
10% puns.
Shouldn't even be walking around.
No.
There's nothing holding me together.
You're just an ethereal groan.
What a mess. What I nearly swore. What an absolute mess. We've also learned of the PlayStation Plus games for March.
Yep, we have.
Do you know any of these?
I know Broforce.
What is that?
It's all right. It's lovely. It was the one that was voted in as well.
I don't think I voted for that.
I didn't either, but I'll be honest, I can't remember the other one I voted for.
No, neither can I.
But I voted for it, and it wasn't this, but we've got this. So
Are you going to play it?
yeah, I always pick up the PlayStation Plus games.
I always add them to my library. I
Yes.
never play them though.
I probably play about 5 minutes of them, and then shrug my shoulders and crack
Get
on.
1% of the trophies.
Yeah.
Scar you forever.
If there's several trophies, and I'll keep going, get that bitten by that bug. I'm sure you're aware, Mr. Platinum. But
Mr. Platinum, yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't been taken by a PlayStation Plus title in a long time.
I can't remember the last one that hooked me, actually, to be fair.
Rocket League, I think it was for me. Which I still play.
I missed out on it.
Were you not a PlayStation Plus member?
I was, but I just didn't download it.
Why?
Because I live under a rock and completely bypassed how
And you haven't
amazing
played
it was.
Uncharted. Listen, Tarrant, after this, we're going to play a game of Rocket League. Have you played Rocket League yet?
I haven't. Can we play it?
Oh my god, it's amazing!
Okay,
Okay, alright, yeah, we'll play a game.
I'm looking forward to this.
You are unbelievable.
I am. I'm terrible. To be fair, I have played games. I play a lot of games, just not these ones.
He says as he eyes his 3DS, which is in the room at the moment.
I can't wait to play that.
What is wrong with you? Now, one thing that you are selling at the moment to fund your shameless Nintendo
Yes.
fanboyism
Yes.
is your
Vita.
PlayStation Vita, which turns 4 this week.
Unbelievable. I remember I bought it at launch.
Did you buy it at launch?
I did.
And what games did you get with it?
I didn't. I couldn't afford any games.
But you didn't get Uncharted, did you?
No.
So you bought the Vita.
I have played an Uncharted game. I played
Golden
Golden
Abyss?
Abyss in the airport.
For how long?
Half an hour?
So you played it, but you haven't finished an Uncharted game.
I played the demo twice.
The demo, you didn't
Yes.
even own the game.
It wasn't even the actual
I'm
game.
fairly sure it was on Plus at some point.
Yeah, it was. I'm so
God,
shameful.
So you bought the Vita at launch, you had no games.
No games. The first one I got for it was Mercenary. I don't know how long away from launch that was.
Mercenary?
Yeah,
Oh, it was Killzone
Killzone,
Mercenary.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was a little way. That was at least 2012, 2013?
It was considerable. I might not have got it at launch then because I don't think there was that much space of time between it. I got it early on and then didn't touch it. I was focused on other things, my Nintendo.
3DS, yeah,
yes.
absolutely. Why are you here?
I don't know.
You were just in the area, weren't you?
Yeah, I
That's
just
it.
passing by and you just pulled me in.
Like, oi,
Oi.
sit down.
Record. But yeah, Killzone Mercenary was good to a point. It's not really designed for it for a Vita.
How many Vita games have you actually played in terms of owned? In fact, do you own any Vita games?
In terms Rayman Origins, Rayman Legends,
Yeah.
they're great.
Those.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with the UbiArt framework.
What's your favourite?
My favourite Vita game is Child of Light. That goes without saying.
That's
I
pretty
really enjoy that, but I almost exclusively use my Vita now for Spyro the Dragon.
Spyro the Dragon.
Yes.
PS1 classic.
Yes, I bought the trilogy.
I bought the trilogy as
Yeah.
well. Mine, I was always a. Is it Year of the Dragon? Is that the third one?
Yeah.
Where he's skateboarding on the
Yeah.
front. How 90s is that?
So
I
cool,
love
though.
that one.
Yeah.
Year of the Dragon, where you go around finding all the eggs.
Yeah,
Love it.
and there you have to collect all the dragon. You like bump heads with the dragon statues, and they blow up. And
Yes.
then they tell you a quip. Yeah, I love it. Love it. And that's that.
So good.
That the PS1 games is where the Vita really comes alive for me. I think if they chucked like the PS1 library on Vita, it would be brilliant. Like the whole thing.
I am quite surprised that in fact, it was one of my predictions for the PlayStation Experience conference
Right.
a couple of months ago, maybe longer, that when they were undoubtedly going to talk about the Final Fantasy VII re-release, not remake,
Yeah.
but the re-release, the Steam version that they did, I was convinced that the extra time it had taken, because in the time that they announced it, since then, they released it on mobile,
Yeah.
so you can get it on iPhone, and it still wasn't on PS4, so I thought they must be doing something. I was convinced it was going to be cross-buy.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be on Vita as well.
Yeah.
Because you can obviously get the PS1 classic of Final Fantasy
Yeah.
VII, you can play it on your Vita, but I was convinced that they were going to do a cross-save kind of thing, which would have been a brilliant idea. It may still be happening. Who knows? No one said anything to that end, but I just assumed that that's what would happen.
I assumed they were going to knock the Vita on its head and not mention it. It was going to get no airtime whatsoever.
I love my Vita.
Yes?
I love my Vita. It's down there.
Do you use it?
Under the dust.
Under the dust.
Under
Yeah,
the
there
dust.
we go.
No, I've got loads of games for it. I'm going to get it out now. Here we go. Oh, did you see that?
Yeah, that's a lot of dust.
Here it comes. This could be taken out of context. Look at that.
Especially with the zip noise. You've got the same one as me, the OLED one.
This is a German Vita,
Why?
but there's a lot of dust.
Look
I'm
at
really
that
sorry. I
dust.
hope you're not allergic. Because it was cheaper on Amazon to buy it from Germany.
Oh, it's still
Oh my
PAL.
God.
There's so much dust. It's still PAL, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, so EU still. So
Yeah, I just had to get
no
a
harm
charger
done.
for it, but it was slightly cheaper buying it in Euroland.
Euroland.
Through Euros. But I love my Vita. I don't play it unless because down there you'll see, because we're at my house at the moment, there's a PlayStation TV. You see it on the left? It's a little black box.
Oh.
It's got a PS4 controller on top.
Yeah, it's camouflaged in the black.
Yeah, there's not much light down
There's
there.
no light.
There's no light. That's where it goes. Confined
Okay.
to its little corner.
And
So
how's that for you?
I love that.
Yeah?
I'm kind of disappointed by the UI because it's just the Vita UI but blown up to a screen, so it's fuzzy
Rough,
on
yeah.
the TV, which is kind of weird. I thought they would go for a PS4 style UI, and I know it came out before the PS4. Anyway, so I've played a couple of Vita games since
But through
on
that.
there. If I'm going on holiday, I preload my Vita with stuff.
Yeah.
So when I went on holiday last time, I platinumed. You ready for this? I platinumed Grim Fandango,
Nice.
Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate,
Not nice.
which is rubbish.
It's so rubbish.
Oh,
I
terrible.
believe I reviewed this for Push Square.
Did you?
Yes.
How did you do that? It really
great
annoyed
difficulty.
me. I had to play it through so many times to get the platinum.
Well, I didn't get the platinum.
Ruined my holiday, to be honest.
Really?
Don't know why I did it. SpongeBob Hero Pants,
My man.
and I think I played The Walking Dead Season 1 again
Strong.
for another platinum. 4 platinum trophies on holiday.
Not too
Didn't
bad.
even go outside.
Yeah, I bet you
That's
didn't.
what the Vita's for. Don't go outside when you're on holiday. Long car journeys, flights, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Perfect for it, and I love it for that.
Okay.
That's why I love my Vita.
I don't do any of that stuff, which is why mine's not moving.
You bought your 3DS though, didn't you?
I did.
Could have bought your Vita, and we could have bought a cake.
Potter. Does my Vita have Pokemon on it? I rest
No.
my case. Let's move on.
All right. Can't believe you. So PlayStation VR, it's rumoured to be launching this year.
Yes.
That's what they're saying over at GameStop in the States.
Yes.
That he thinks it may well be
It's
coming
always
this
the
year.
retailers.
I'm excited. Are you excited?
VR is going to be great.
You haven't even used it yet.
I haven't. No, I haven't.
gonna be
I'm
so
speaking
good.
completely, almost from a
ignorance.
consumer level.
It is. It is really something special if you haven't
Yeah.
had a chance to have a go on it, because you are aware that you're wearing a headset,
Right.
and you're aware that you're sitting in a chair, surrounded by a crowd of people because you're at some conference or whatever,
Sure.
or con, and it's surreal because instead of using the right analog stick to look around, you're using your head to look around, and you
You are
just
the
don't
analog
get,
stick.
You just don't get used to it. You just don't get used to it, and it's really strange, and it's got so many possibilities.
Yeah.
And there are so many ways it could go horribly wrong. I got my PlayStation Move down there.
Ah, yes.
You haven't laughed at that yet.
I didn't see it in the darkness again. To put into context, I'm being blinded by a very large TV, so the contrast is difficult.
Wow.
Yeah, the Move died a death, naturally.
I love my PlayStation.
It's pretty, though.
It's nice.
It's not bad
They've
looking,
got
is it?
what, like four colours for the ball on the end? It's 4 entire colours. That's almost a rainbow.
Almost.
Almost a... Well, I mean, they tried the best. It's expensive. Those colours are expensive.
Damn LEDs.
But those were the main news stories, I would say, from recent times. We're
Yes.
also going to discuss a feature that went up very recently on Push Square, which was an argument between our supreme overlord leader editor Samuel Barkware and Robert Ramsey, our associate editor, where they were talking about whether or not you fast travel in open world games.
Right.
Robert likes to walk everywhere because Robert has all the time in the world. Sammy, more reasonably, likes to fast travel. Now, neither of them do exclusively one or the other. They do mix it up, but Robert walks more, Sammy fast travels more, and they can't understand where each other are coming from. Where do you fall on this issue?
I would be more in Camp Robert for this.
Camp Robert, you like to walk?
I do like a walk. I back Robert in the sense that he said if you're playing a large open world game, why on earth would you completely skip that open world?
That's a good point.
And it's probably the most valid point I've seen in this whole argument between the two of them.
Now, I like to do that to begin with.
Okay.
In big open world games, Fallout 4, for example, I like to walk as much as I can do, but as soon as it reaches a point where I can fast travel, I'm going to fast travel because I don't want to walk everywhere
You miss
all
out
the
on
time.
so much.
Potentially. There are only so many hours in the day. It's economical. It's economical to fast travel.
In terms of time management, it is economical.
If it's one village over, that's great. And I find this... It would almost be better in terms of not missing stuff if games just took out a fast travel feature altogether and just put in what Skyrim had, which was a horse and cart that you could get between certain major towns.
Skyrim still had a fast travel.
It still had a fast travel.
I never used that horse and cart.
If it was just something like that, though, where you could fast travel to certain destinations, but from there you had to walk. And obviously you can only fast travel to places
So if you could, like main hubs, you could fast travel to and from.
Exactly.
Everything superfluous you had to explore.
A 15-minute run to the place where your quest is.
That's not a bad idea.
Settlement, that kind of thing. There were just major bus routes, for example.
Yeah.
That would be better, because I don't want to miss this stuff. And towards the end of a game, playing it for a long time, like Fallout 4, it did feel sort of, oh yeah, I'm in my best gear, I'm looking really cool, I could take on the world, and then you're just fast travelling to Diamond City or whatever it is to turn in a quest, and then you fast travel back to Sanctuary again. It does feel cheap, but it's a system that's you're actively encouraged to use. So it's a bit weird, you don't really know where you're meant to fall in it. I do like to walk, but I find myself fast travelling a lot more.
I like your idea of hub travel.
Hub hopping.
Hub hopping.
You've
got a patent in that.
Nice.
That's good. I
I'm
like it.
not gonna do it. You can pass it if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And now, joining us on the phone from... Where are you from, Alex?
Lichfield.
From Don't say that like I knew where it was.
What do you mean you don't know Lichfield?
From Lichfield is staff writer Alex Stinton. Hello, Alex.
Hi, Ben.
You're here to talk to us about Far Cry Primal.
Indeed I am, yes. I had the pleasure of playing it for review.
And how was it? Tell us about it. What is it? Is it a full extra game, or does it just feel like sort of a piece of DLC add-on kind of thing?
It kind of feels in between the two, if I'm being honest. It is very much Far Cry. If you're familiar with either Far Cry 3 or Far Cry 4, then you're going to be really at home in it. It's a lot of the similar sort of mechanics, with some changes in there to kind of play into the setting, which is obviously kind of Stone Age setting, 10,000 BC, so it's all caveman with clubs hitting each other over the head rather than modern day people shooting each other.
Nice.
So, I mean, the main crux of it is that they've kind of ramped up the crafting and hunting element of it. So, whereas before you'd hunt the odd animal to kind of craft upgrades for your character, this time everything is upgraded through things you get through hunting or gathering in around the environment, so wood and stone and that sort of thing. So, upgrades for your character, weapons for your character, upgrading the village that you kind of live in with the rest of your tribe, ammo for your weapons. It all comes from hunting. So if you didn't like the hunting in the previous games, then you're probably not going to like this one.
Does it suffer at all without the guns, without the weaponry, explosives, crazy stuff?
I think it could have done better than it did. When you kind of if you're using the bow and arrow or throwing a spear at people, it's actually still quite enjoyable. Hitting someone with a spear and having them fly backwards, never gets old. But the moment that you end up close fighting people, you end up with clubs that basically is you pull the trigger to swing or hold it down to swing it harder.
Skyrim.
That's it. So there's no kind of dodges or anything like that, and you feel like they could have done something a bit more around it to kind of make it a bit more interesting. And as a result, you kind of feel the lack of guns kind of works against it a little bit. It feels a little bit of a regression that they've taken something away and put something in that isn't quite as good, but they could have done more with it.
Mm. Okay, and you can tame animals, is that right?
Yes, you can. There's certain kind of animals, not all of them. You can't tame an eagle and ride it around. That's like
missed opportunity.
Rubbish.
Disappointment.
3 out of 10.
Ride a bear.
That's a pretty good replacement.
Or a saber-toothed tiger.
Oh, I'd go for a saber-toothed tiger. What's the coolest thing? I mean, you probably just said it right then, but what's the coolest animal you can tame?
I had Colin. He was my
Colin?
tiger. You know, we ran around a lot together. He bit a few people, and I hit him over the head with a club.
Brilliant.
Was good.
Teamwork.
A good time was had by all.
That sounds like amazing teamwork.
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of, apart from the ramping up in the hunting element, it's kind of the biggest addition, I guess. So it's nice, but it's not very well developed. You tame an animal, and basically all you can do with it is say go there or kill that, or ride it is the only other option with it. So it's kind of doesn't feel like there's that much to it, even though it's quite cool to tear around on the back of a saber-toothed tiger hitting people.
So Colin, your tiger.
Yes.
Were you able to keep him afterwards? Is it sort of a short-term deal where he's with you and then after a cutscene maybe he's gone, or you leave the game, you come back, or do you have like a little house for Colin?
You have like there's like a very classy menu that shows all of basically when you've tamed an animal that is in your library, so to speak, for any point in the game. So bring up the menu, hit the one you want, and it'll appear out of nowhere.
Wow. So that is intensely video gamey.
It is extremely video gamey. It is extremely Far Cry video gamey in everything it does. And that's okay. It's still fun. I still had a good time playing it. It's an enjoyable experience. Firing arrows at hitting people and taking over outposts is all still there, and I still enjoy it, even though Far Cry 4 was only just over a year out from that having come out.
Yeah.
But I think for some people, they hoping for maybe more of a change with the setting, then they're going to be maybe a little bit disappointed in what's actually here, because a lot of it's just verbatim what's in Far Cry 4.
Right.
Like a lot of the stealth takedowns are basically exactly the same. There's no difference to them whatsoever. So you look at the menu and go, hang on, this is exactly what was in the previous game with no change to it. So there's little bits of disappointment like that.
And is there much of a story?
Yeah, I mean, it's a Far Cry revenge tale, and I guess it suffers a little bit from not having a memorable central villain, as seems to have been the kind of main thrust of the last two. But I found it quite enjoyable. It was different because it's like I say, it's set within 10,000 BC, so it's all kind of presented in a subtitled with a who knows how accurate, probably not very made up language that they've kind of put together for it, and I found it quite interesting. It's not particularly detailed or let's say revolutionary, but I found myself interested to follow it all the way through to the end, and it kept me coming back to it. So can't say much more than that, I guess.
Brilliant.
You mentioned previous Far Cry games, and I personally was a huge fan of the DLC kind of extra game, Blood Dragon for 3. And I've seen a lot of words on the internet saying that there is a Blood Dragon Easter egg. Do you happen to find that at all?
Yes, I did.
Yeah? What was it?
There is the skeleton of one of the dragons from that game in a cave.
Brilliant.
Get down to the end of it, and it's like a little opening you can look through and see it. Well, I guess we should have said spoilers for people that listen to this. They're going to ruin it for.
It's just going to be Sammy. This is a pilot.
Yeah, this is our pilot. So, but yeah, we've ruined it for Sammy.
Ruined it for Sammy, who will never play it ever.
Got it. I think he was one of the only people in the comments that said, "Oh, this actually looks pretty good." I could like it. Everyone else, "Oh, rubbish, disappointed, never looked good to me." People are so clever. Know everything.
I think the lack of guns may put a few people off.
That's true. You can't shoot a man in the face, and what's the point?
No, absolutely.
Be honest with me.
What else do we do in games?
Alex.
Yeah.
What is the accent that they speak with?
I don't think there is an accent.
You're going to have to do it.
No, you can't. You can't ask me to do that.
I'm not asking you to do an impression. Ben Tarrant is, but I'm not. I want to know: are they American cavemen?
No, I'd be hard pressed to place it as an accent of any kind.
Okay, that's good. As long as they're not talking like they're from California, then that's fine.
No, I say it feels. And I hate to say it's authentic. No, it's
like I'm really there.
It's like I'm really in 10,000 BC. It must have been how they exactly spoke. No, I know it's made up, and I know it's nowhere near, but it feels appropriate to the setting.
Brilliant. Now, you gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Would you recommend it, or who would you recommend it to? Is it sort of only for hardcore Far Cry fans? Because I enjoy the odd Far Cry. I never buy them at launch, but this really doesn't appeal to me too much.
I think if you really enjoyed the hunting, because I know a lot of people did in the previous games, it was something they found was one of the highlights for them, then you're absolutely going to love this. But if not, then I said that's probably not for you. Also, if you're kind of happy with where Far Cry was, and it's still being there, essentially in a different setting, then I think you'll also have fun with it. I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought I was burnt out on Far Cry after 4. I really liked 4, and coming back to it a year later, I thought, you know what, am I going to feel like it needs to change more than this? Is it kind of going to feel like Assassin's Creed? But I sat down and I just kept playing it, and actually had a really good time. But I recognise that it won't be for everyone, because ultimately it's the third time, I guess fourth kind of, but Blood Dragon was a bit different, that they've kind of hit this same formula, and they've really, I think for the next one, they're really going to have to mix it up a little bit more than what they've done. To if they come back with the same again, I think it just won't be as appealing.
Right. Ubisoft have already said that they're going to take a break from Assassin's Creed. Do you think they need to do a similar thing here with Far Cry, maybe?
No, I think it's less taking a break and more going back to the drawing board and thinking, okay, what makes Far Cry an enjoyable experience, and kind of try and do something a bit different with those mechanics. I still think that fundamentally it's sound, and it's not been hit often enough as Assassin's Creed has, where everyone's like, oh god, another year. I think we're kind of not at that point, but if they don't change things fundamentally as to kind of how they're presenting the mechanics that kind of they're putting into the game, then I think they're going to end up there pretty quick.
Brilliant. Okay, well, Alex Stinton from Lichfield, thank you very much for joining us.
No problem.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks.
And now it's time for Indie Bin, which is about as fun as it sounds. We take a look at recent releases for independently developed games and see if they should be Indie Bin or not Indie Bin.
Or not D-Bin.
Not D Bin.
This is where most of the listeners go, oh, bloody indie games. Will he just stop with the indie games? What is Indie Bin this week?
Indie Bin this week is Firewatch.
Oh. 6 out of 10, pushsquare.com.
Wasn't it 5?
Oh, God. Sammy.
It can't be that low.
It can't be that low. Sammy can't hate it that much.
So Firewatch is the debut title from Campo Santo, developers that have clubbed together from the likes of the Walking Dead series, and taken technical abilities from graphic artist Ollie Moss, who you may know from his work with Studio Ghibli and Mondo.
And the Resistance 3 box art.
Yes, more relevantly, actually.
6 out of 10.
6
Not
out of 10.
Not a 5 out of 10.
He definitely upped that on the quiet.
You reckon?
I'm sure it was
You
a
reckon
5.
it was a 5?
I don't reckon it was a 5. I reckon it was a 9, but that's my personal opinion. Sammy's wrong. Anyway, Firewatch, you take the reins of Henry, who has had a struggled marriage and has run away from his problems to the Wyoming wilderness to spend a summer as a Firewatch volunteer, where he sits in his tower for the whole of summer.
So he's not actually getting paid?
No, he's volunteering. He is volunteering. It's to protect the natural beauty of the land. In real life, Wyoming National Forest, aka Yellowstone and so forth.
Yeah.
They are beautiful. And fire is a huge issue in the States, especially in places like California and such, where it will get really hot. Smokey the Bear is like a public icon.
Take the word for it.
Yeah, Google it. He's everywhere.
All right.
A lot of people have been talking about Firewatch. It is a visually stunning game, a visually memorable game. It is running on Unity, so as such, it does have...
Works notoriously well on PlayStation 4.
So well. It does hit the typical frame rate issues that Unity is becoming depressingly synonymous with. But that is only on occasion. I think a lot of people dwell on it too heavily. It's the very expansive settings, the very busy areas that seem to cause the frame rate to plummet a little bit. But aside from that, I'd say Firewatch is near flawless. It's a very self-contained, very moving, very emotional, very brief journey through kind of Henry overcoming, or not even overcoming really, just contemplating and trying to battle with the issues that he's left behind, and through a relationship exclusively played out through a walkie-talkie with his supervisor Delilah. So it plays on their relationship and maybe the guilt and such of becoming affiliated with another woman while his ill wife is back home. It's poignant, and it's very clever in not playing too heavily on any of its own aspects. I absolutely adored it. I played it quite heavily, both for review purposes and for own pleasure. And it's a game that I won't ever forget. It's one of those 1 in a million kind of games, I believe firmly.
You got the record as well. Is that right?
No, I haven't got the record because they haven't made a record yet. I am sincerely hoping they make a record. But the original soundtrack by Chris Remo is fantastic.
It is lovely. There's a little bit in the background now.
Is there?
Yeah, it's underneath us. You can't feel it yet.
Oh, right.
That's coming in post.
But it is great, and if you are interested in purchasing that, it can be bought on the Campo Santo website. It's ridiculously cheap. It's like £4, I believe. Well worth it. But I'm sincerely hoping, with Ollie Moss's affiliation, he's the lead graphic designer, by the way.
Right.
With Ollie Moss's affiliation with Mondo, who they produce exclusive limited runs of vinyls. I'm really hoping that they make this happen. He's already designed the album artwork, Ollie Moss, for this, and it would look amazing on a vinyl kind of slipcase, and the actual vinyl itself could be pressed in like bright orange, which would be phenomenal.
Why don't you have you written them a letter yet?
I got involved
Dear
with
Ollie Moss, from Ben Tarrant, age 6.
They actually had a Reddit AMA
Did they?
with Chris Remo, and he said that he was really excited with the potential of vinyl. So
Cool.
LP heads keep their fingers crossed.
Now it draws a lot of comparisons as a quote-unquote walking simulator.
Yes.
With things like Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Yes.
Which is one of my favourite games.
It is a very good game.
I love Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. I've also played Firewatch.
You have.
Firewatch is fantastic. It's really good, and I'm not going to talk negatively about it at all.
Good.
But Everybody's Gone to the Rapture emotionally impacted me more
Right.
than Firewatch. I don't know, and I have this problem sometimes with games when I play them after the hype train has left the station.
Right.
So I've had this problem with Shadow of Mordor, which I played way after it came out, and I just did not get the hype. And I know you absolutely
I
love
really
that
loved
game.
it.
We're gonna have to have a fight about it in a minute, like fists. I had exactly the same problem with what was it called? The Witness as well.
Oh, right.
Again, I played a little bit of it, but it's difficult to get super into a game that everyone's talking about and it's amazing, it's the best thing, you need to go and do it, and if you leave it for a few weeks and go into it,
it's never going to meet those
it's
expectations.
not going to live up to that, and
it's not.
It's such a shame, because if I'd have played Firewatch day one, I think it would have been infinitely more powerful than if I'd have left it that long.
That's the problem with mainstream media. It really is. It ruins
not even
so
just
much.
avoiding spoilers, because it wasn't even
not
a case
even
of spoilers.
spoilers,
It's
just
just
the
people
hype,
talking about
the energy
it
around it.
and saying it's
Yeah.
amazing, and then you go into it knowing that it's, in the back of your mind, whether or not you're thinking this is going to be amazing and you're going to be let down, or in the back of your mind thinking it can't possibly live up to that expectations,
Exactly.
and then it not living up to
It's
those
a horrible
expectations.
catch-22, isn't it?
You can't win.
No.
And it's a fantastic game. And for me, the most emotionally impactful part of it was right at the start. The little text selection bit, which I thought was very clever.
Yeah, very good.
And I loved that. And I love the art style. I love the voice acting is brilliant.
It is. It's spot on.
Soundtrack is amazing. It's really good, and you can crack out in an afternoon.
Yeah.
But for me, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture with all the conflicting stories and growing up in a little village like that, and all the melodrama
so it kind of hit
and all
home
that
for
kind
you
of,
almost.
all that kind of rubbish. It was
Sure.
it meant a lot more to me.
Okay.
But a fantastic game.
They're
Do you know
both
how much
very
it
good
is?
games. Firewatch, I believe it is 19.99. I believe. I'm probably wrong, actually.
Wasn't it? Is it not 15 quid?
It might be 15. What's 19?
19, I don't know.
Something's 19.
No,
Oh, The Witness is 1999.
No, it's not. It's 29.99.
Oh, what?
What are you talking about? Crazy!
That's mad, baby.
That's mad! You're going to have a look now.
Don't you just like run your finger along a square a little bit?
Hey, look, don't undersell it. That's going to be an indie bin next week.
It really will.
Indie bin is Tarrant's section. He's going to look after it. Are you checking now?
I am checking
Checking what
Firewatch.
Firewatch is. But a fantastic game. And it's definitely one that you should play for better or for worse. And I'd be very interested to know what people listening to this thought of it. I know at the moment it's probably only Sammy. And we know what Sammy thought of it.
We do.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Had to rock the boat, didn't he? Had to rock the boat.
This guy, huh?
But yeah, going forward, I'll be looking after the indie bin section because they're the ones I have time to play for. None of this Uncharted rubbish.
Stop it.
It's $19.99, so it is
it's about
15. Yeah, about 15 in real money.
Definitely worth it. If you want to leave it for a while to cool off, so to speak, in terms of potentially forgetting about the hype or avoiding this thought in the back of your head like it's never going to live up to what they said, and perhaps waiting for a sale, that could probably be a good idea as well. But people should play it.
You should.
The studio deserves money, and they deserve your money, and you should just experience it, because that's what these kinds of games are. They are
they're an experience, and I think as many people as possible should experience this. Definitely.
Brilliant. Cool. Let's move on.
Let's.
So there we go. We've reached the end of the pilot episode of Project Push. Thank you very much for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope that we're allowed to continue to make them.
Hopefully.
And normally before this little outro section and after Indie Bin, we would go to the audience for some questions, hopefully have something set up on the forums, that kind of thing. Mr. Tarrant, where can they find the best PlayStation website on the internet?
Pushsquare.com.
And what about Twitter?
At Pushsquare. You can find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Pushsquare. Potter, yourself, you do some YouTube stuff.
You do YouTube.
YouTube.
YouTube. Please come and support us on YouTube. youtube.com/PushSquare. I try to put up those Game of the Month videos. Get all stupid in them, don't I? And there's all sorts of stuff happening. I mean, who's to say that we can't take excerpts of this podcast and put them up in video form?
Cheeky.
There's no reason why we can't do that.
There's no stopping us.
So go to YouTube, subscribe. We're just past 18,500 subscribers now, which is good stuff.
If I had a party popper, I would pop it.
Would you?
No.
Because
in your face, mate.
You'd be cleaning it up. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Tarrant.
No, thank you, Potter.
And hopefully we'll be back soon.
Thank you for listening to Project Push. For more information, please visit www.pushsquare.com.